What's going on, guys? Adam Ivy, sellmusic.com, here to help you go further, faster in your music career by sharing proven marketing techniques and strategies to help you transform that passion for making music into a legitimate business that's going to provide you with freedom, fulfillment, hopefully a lifetime of income as well. Anyway, guys, what I wanted to do in this video is a whole lot different. A lot of you guys have been asking me when I'm coming back out with the Sell Music Masterclass, if I'm going to be coming out with the Sell Music Masterclass. And if you've never heard of the Sell Music Masterclass, is a program that I have behind the scenes that I only offer for 1 week a year. So in this video, I'm going to be interviewing one of my students. I want you guys to be very familiar with him, not only his music, but his story. And I want to share some of the things that he's learned in the program. So many people leave some pretty questionable comments on some of my videos, kind of questioning my credentials or whatever, which is fine. But at the end of the day, I know how many hundreds of students I've helped, and I wanted to share that with you. So without further ado, let's jump right into the interview. All right, guys, like I said, I'm here with XCaliberZero, one of my friends now, one of my greatest students over from the Sell Music Masterclass. His progress, his momentum has been incredibly impressive. I've been proud of everything he's done and put in the work, but I'm not going to introduce him. I'll let him do that. So what's going on, man? Thank you for joining me on this call.
Thank you for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Of course. People about yourself.
I'm XCaliberZero. I've been making music for 12 years now. When I was 15, I'm 27 now. I make music for television on the side, or actually it's my main source of income right now, for, just for television, and I do the back end work for them and everything like that. And yeah, pretty much.
No, that's awesome, man. So if you watch this video, you've got to go check him out. I'll have all of his links in the description box below. He absolutely crushes it on Instagram. His website's beautiful. His beats are on point. So tell the people what you produce and what DAW do you use to produce your beats?
I use FL Studio 20. I've dabbled in Logic, Pro Tools, and then I did a little bit of Reason, but my home is FL Studio. That's what I pretty much use for everything. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you for being part of the Sell Music Masterclass, but I want the people to know about your journey, right? You went to Full Sail here in Orlando, Florida. You're out in LA now, but what happened between, I'd say, the time that you started, once you got back from Full Sail, to the point where you said, you know what, I'm going to sign up for the Sell Music Masterclass? Like, what led up to that? What frustrations did you have? What obstacles did you have? Or what vision did you have that you said, you know what, I'm going to give this a try?
Well, basically, I went to, like you said, I graduated from Full Sail back of 2014, and I moved to back home to Virginia, where I'm from, for about 6 months to save up, because I knew I either wanted to move to California or New York. And in my heart, I've been to New York plenty of times because I'm from the East Coast, but in my heart, I wanted to go to California. It's somewhere where I've always wanted to go. Mm-hmm. And basically, Full Sail helped me get an internship with the company that I actually work for now. And it's a TV licensing company, but I also do the back end work and help them out with, the cue sheets. I'm sure if you know the terminology and everything like that. Just a lot of the back end work, helping clients get the actual music. There's like a library of 35,000 tracks. So wow. You got to organize and send that out.
Sure.
But basically it got to a point where in my heart, I was always posting music just because even though I made music for TV, it's a lot different. There's a specific format, and they just want stuff that, not all the time you really want to make. So I kind of wanted to get back into just posting and just doing my own thing, is what I loved. And I ran across your channel probably back into I already knew of your channel before, but I ran back into your channel back in September. Okay. So, I was already in the mindset where I just wanted to be my own boss. Basically, I just wanted to be, I just wanted to put whatever work I put in, I want to be able to be accountable for myself. So I just started getting to that mindset, and that's how I found your channel, basically how to market yourself. That's something that I always sucked in before, because I was posting music online back, like we talked about earlier, in the SoundClick era, and I kind of just missed that wave because it was huge, and I was making a few sales here and there, but I just didn't know how to put myself out there. I would just put a website, a link on Facebook, or just like share with my friends, like, hey, check this out. But at the end of the day, that's not really going to get you anywhere. You got to really put yourself out there, and I think that I kind of missed that wave of opportunity. And now that I knew that Instagram was kind of getting bigger, and it's definitely something that I enjoy doing, which is posting like the videos and stuff, that kind of helped me really build my, just my fan base, everything. So, my following. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
And like I said, you kill it, man. You do an absolutely great job. When I saw your name come through for the enrollments for the Sell Music Masterclass, I was already familiar with your content already. So I mean, we were connected on Instagram, which like you, Instagram is one of the bigger platforms that I use for marketing, but it's more than that, right? It's more than just Instagram. So when you went from September of last year discovering my stuff, because I know that Sell Music Masterclass wasn't open for enrollment till November, what happened from the YouTube stuff that I do for free, and I'm going to continue to do for free, but what was the differentiating factor between that YouTube stuff that you were already in absorbing and ingesting versus when you actually got into the online course, the Sell Music Masterclass? What was the difference? What did you experience?
Well, the YouTube stuff, I feel like, like we kind of talked about earlier, YouTube kind of has like a system, I feel like, where if you want to teach someone something, you kind of have to do it in a specific format. But as far as the Sell Music Masterclass, it was way more hands-on. You were there, engaging within the Facebook group that we actually have, that you have, for all the students and everything like that. You did like, a brand audit, which I think is super huge because it kind of just puts you in the mindset of where you can really adjust, where you wouldn't even notice. Like on my website, I would have links that you would click, it would lead to nowhere. And as a first time buyer or somebody just trying to view the website, that kind of distract them and everything like that. And you kind of just have that hands-on feel of it, where you're actually open to answer any questions. If I ever hit you up, there's not been one time where you have not answered a question, or even if it took you a while to get back, because obviously you're busy, you have tons of things you're doing. You reply back pretty promptly. So I think that having a hands-on feel of it is huge. One of the biggest things for me. And then also we have all the modules pretty much set up where you can go back and kind of just revisit. And they're not even too long. They're perfect. They're just the right amount of information for each one. You're not spending like 20 minutes to watch a whole video to learn about a 3-minute segment. You're really just sitting in there and getting the chunks that are important. And then if you don't understand it, you can just go back and just kind of refresh and review.
Yeah, no, and I, obviously it's what I, built, but I appreciate you saying that because I spent almost 2 years building this thing out and putting it in a sequence that was for a reason, right? It was absolutely purposeful the way I put the sequence. So with that being said, just to make sure that I did things the right way, do you think the sequence in which you follow as a student of the Sell Music Masterclass makes sense? Because it's all based on applied learning, right? So you learn in one module, you apply that, and you don't have to worry about the next one till you get there, and it all kind of piggybacks on one another. Is that the experience that you had?
Yeah, definitely. I think that everything was pretty much sequential and in order how I feel like now that I go back and review that it should be. Just because, just starting out, I don't even know. Like some people probably would think of it like this as not being important. Like they always hear like, yeah, I gotta like work on myself. But one of the first things is really just being in tune with yourself. I think that's one of the most important things. If you're not in a happy mind, if you're not in a positive mindset or a mindset where you want to actually do this, you're going to go through this whole course, retain all that information, and you're not really going to do anything. But you have to be there mentally. You have to, really get yourself in order, get yourself in check, because life's going to throw obstacles at you. But if you really want it, you got to push through them. And then, just starting off with that was really important, because after that, if you got yourself maintained, and you had that up for like a week, that was like the first module for the week. So that's the only video that you can review. And I think that was important because it kind of let you sink in. It's like you just started in the Sell Music Masterclass. You don't know really what you're getting into, but you started with this, that first video, really getting yourself together. Yeah. And you sit on it for a week and you just review, and you're just like, this, obviously this is important, because if not, then, you're not going to be able to build a successful, content strategy for yourself. So I think it was set up perfectly. Everything landed perfectly, all the way down to the email marketing. Everything went perfectly.
So, and thank you. But with obviously one big thing is applied learning on top of mindset work on top of, because it's about self-development. It's not about self-improvement. You need to really develop. And so I'm glad you brought that up, because I know that for me, being able to find my center, being able to find my purpose, being able to find what fulfills me and makes me happy absolutely impacts everything I'm doing. But the reason that I waited a few months to get you on a call like this is because I could have got you on the call the first month or two when you're really hyped up and excited about all the new content. But I wanted to talk to you after the fact, because what my purpose was with the content is to be able to release this course and then make it to where after you're done, you can start over from square one, and everything is going to look different because you've been elevated. Does that make sense? Is that the experience you've had?
Yeah, definitely. I still take myself and go back and review some of the modules, just because I feel like like there's so many different terminologies and stuff like that, especially if you're a musician, that you really have to learn. That people, companies have actual teams, and I'm sure you get work for hires as well, but companies have actual teams of marketing agencies and stuff like that, and using a lot of the terminology that's important. So if you actually wanted to go and learn more about inbound marketing and that you didn't cover or anything like that, Google inbound marketing formulas and stuff like that, and that can really help you. Everything that you have is pretty much, I feel like, is the actual terminology that you need, and just the knowledge that you need to actually be in the game and take this seriously. Because it's an actual masterclass on marketing. That's what I feel like.
I appreciate that. I keep saying I appreciate that. It's going to be like a big infomercial. I'm not trying to make it about that. So let's talk about your business and your brand a little bit more. So since you started, and we don't even have to talk about what impacted you, but since you started, have you seen an increase in sales or engagement, or tell me about what you've seen as far as actual business growth, brand growth opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, everything has grown since I started. I think I started on Instagram posting here and there. I would just post like a picture of my music and then have the music in the background, or a picture with the music in the background, and I wasn't really getting. I mean, I was getting maybe 100 views, 10 comments with just different hashtags that I use or something. But since viewing the masterclass and everything like that, I went from 500 to I think I'm at 2,500 now, which doesn't seem like a huge jump, but if you know the actual algorithm of Instagram, or you get more familiar with it, you really realize that it's important. That that's a pretty big jump, because a lot of people now are just going straight to buying fake followers and stuff like that, which is not really helping, because you look at their engagement, they have two comments, 3 likes, and it's for what? Just because people see an image of you with 10,000 views and stuff like that, 10,000 followers, that doesn't really matter. I think that putting in the work, putting in the back end, and then just really building. I mean, it hasn't been a crazy amount of growth in my opinion. I still have a lot to achieve and stuff like that, but it's definitely been an incremental growth over time. My engagement's going up. All that led over to how I can actually take that engagement, take those followers, take that kind of because people are gonna, when you post more too, I feel like on Instagram, people are going to see you. It's going to end up somewhere. There's so many different. You don't have to have 20,000 views a video. It's going to go somewhere in a hashtag or something, if you know how to put your hashtags, and people are going to see you, and then you can take those. People are going to DM you from that. I get a lot more DMs and stuff like that. Whether if it's a collab, or if it's an artist looking for an actual track, or an artist just wanting to work with me, they see that. They're going to see your hustle. They're going to see the consistency. They're going to be like, I want to be a part of that. And then that's when you can take them and turn that into a customer. And I feel like that this has been my best year as far as sales than I've ever had.
And that's not just for TV. That's working with actual.
That's not TV. This is working with artists on my own. I can say I worked for that, so that everything I see is it makes a huge difference.
So aside from the Instagram stuff, because obviously you're killing it, what are other impacts or whatever? We spoke about a little bit before we started doing this interview about building a mailing list and being able to get more traffic to your website. Do you feel like that stuff organically is just, going up incrementally or substantially as well?
Yeah, definitely. I started with not even really emailing clients. If I posted a new beat, I wouldn't even email them. And I think that's, now that I look back on it, it's what was I really doing? Because if you look at it, if you have a customer that you get from, a lot of the times on Instagram, I'll try to turn those customers into emails. Yeah. So if you get a customer that's on your email list, that's direct to consumer marketing. So you can speak to them directly every day. They're going to get most of the time people are going to have notification on their phone with their email. They're going to see that. So you don't have to post every time oh, I have a huge deal going on right now. It's building really a relationship outside of Instagram, where you can get to say hey, I learned this, this weekend. I want to share with you what I learned. It's just providing as much value as possible. That way, in return, most of the time people are going to want to work with you. So I think that using that strategy as far as the email marketing was one of the most important for me, because that's now still to this day, if I want to try to get more sales, I can pretty much say, oh, I have 25% off, because I'm always emailing in between, I have this going on, or hey, I learned this, just trying to help out the artists, or holding contests and stuff like that. That's something I'm working on now, and I feel like it just makes a huge difference as far as maintaining more, getting more sales and everything like that.
For sure. So in the last, since November, so what is that, about 7-8 months? Mm-hmm. In the last 7-8 months, on top of your skill sets improving, do you think that your communication skills and the amount of time that you're spending is just way more efficient? You're not spending as much time, but you're getting better results?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Like when I first started, I really didn't know too much of even just video editing. And my kind of like my strategy now is just posting a beat video of how I, of a track I'm trying to promote.
Sure.
And now that I learned the programs and everything like that, I'm going through everything way faster. I have like a formula of how I actually want to post, and it makes it a lot easier. Now I'm being way more efficient. I'm not wasting time trying to go through YouTube videos, trying to figure out how to edit a video. I'm actually, I took the time to really learn everything and then apply it. And I think that, now that if I wanted to make and post a video, if I had already made a beat and made a posted video, it would be done within like 30 to 45 minutes for just Instagram, like a 30-second, 60-second video. So it definitely made a difference.
No, that's awesome. And just quick side note, I'm going to put this up on my YouTube channel. So if there's any producers out there, artists that you want to work with and shout out in this video, now's your time, man. Let me know what producers you want to work with. What artists would you like to work with in the next year?
I think that for the producers I want to work with, I work with, for now, like now I just pay for collabs too, if I want to really work with someone.
Yeah.
But I think it would be dope to work with, just like SMPRO, just because, or Vibe, because I put so much into the game, man. It's like, those are kind of like the godfathers to me for the internet game, because back when I first started on SoundClick, when it was like the huge SoundClick wave, those guys were killing it. They were like, Vibe was kind of more behind the scenes. You really didn't see what he looked like back then. And SMPRO was kind of like the face. He was the first person to really step in front of his camera. He would sit there on the couch and just talk to his mom for like 15 minutes, just chilling out. It would be entertaining. You never really saw that point from a producer. So they're kind of like the godfathers to me. So it would be cool to eventually start work, just do a collab with them. And then for artists, there's some that are like on the growth right now that I actually want to work with. Like there's this guy called Side that I just feel like he has it, and he's very kind of small right now, but I just feel like he has that talent. I think that would be cool to grow, like to help grow with him, basically, and then as far as big artists, I think that working with like Tory Lanez or something would be crazy. Like that's like kind of my sound where it leads.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Your sound matches that. Like that'd be a super smooth transition into that. So hopefully we can get some. If you're watching this, get these people. I know Owen Vibe, good people, great people, incredibly genuine people. So I mean, I don't see that as an issue. Not promising that'll happen, but I'm going to reach out to him. But in the comments below, guys, I want to know what artist that you want to work with, what artist that you see XCaliberZero working with, and I want you to check out all of this stuff. Now, enough about us, right? I want to know what your recommendation for artists that are doing it. Hold on, I got screensaver. Hold on, no look. A little OCD, people. I appreciate the patience. Anyway, I want your advice to people coming up. I want you to talk to yourself last year. People that are in the same position that you are. You might have a little bit of growth. You might have a little bit of business, but you know that there's more. You know that there's more capabilities. There's more opportunities out there. And you might have a little bit of a hiccup in your path, right? You might have an obstacle. You might have something that's making you feel stuck. I want you, because I could be pretty opinionated, but I want you to take this time to talk to those people and give them some encouragement. Tell them, what you would recommend them doing.
I think that if you have that voice in your head that's telling you to do something that you really want to do, that makes you fulfilled or makes you happy, you really have to follow it. Because like back in September, I just had a daughter like the month before when I really started taking it seriously. So a lot of my time was diverted, just to her, family and stuff like that, helping, build and raise a child, basically. So I think that just being in the right mindset is the most important. Like if I would go back and tell myself anything, I would just tell myself, keep pushing. And, I still want to be more consistent than I even am now. And I feel like I'm like sometimes I'm hard on myself because I feel like, I should be doing more. But at the same time, you got to understand there's a balance with everything. And I still try to find ways to make more time. And I think that if you're an artist or a producer and you're really trying to make it, my advice would be just to keep learning and keep working on yourself and just keep pushing. Don't quit. don't be lazy. Don't binge watch a Netflix series in a weekend and stuff like that. Like, you gotta sacrifice. You gotta sacrifice those things that are taking up your time. Like video games for me, I feel like before I would just spend hours just playing video games, and I would realize that if I was spending hours playing video games, that I would make a beat. I posted it, and it was like nothing. But now it's like I cut video games completely out of my life. I just focus on basically my job, my family, and music. And I think that helped shift a lot of my, like momentum as far as how far I got. And I think that if you're really trying to push yourself, you just gotta take yourself seriously and cut out the things that you know that are holding you back, and just go for it and just take that sacrifice. It's going to pay off in the long run, I feel like.
I can't agree with you anymore, man. Now, when it comes to the Sell Music Masterclass, before we close up here, I know that some people are going to look at it, and this is without question, they're going to see it as a big cost, right? Mm-hmm. But when it comes to cost, can you give me, and you don't have to kiss my ass or anything, but can you tell me, when it comes to cost versus value, what you would tell people about somebody that says, hey, I want to sign up for the Sell Music Masterclass, but I have to pay for it, and it's not free on YouTube. What do you think?
I think that if you really want to take yourself seriously, and I'm not just saying this because we're cool now or anything like that. This is serious. If you really want to take yourself seriously, you have to invest into yourself. You have to take that. You're paying for your time, and you're paying. That's the most important thing. I feel like you're paying for your time. If you really want to learn something and take yourself to the next level, a lot of this stuff you probably could find maybe on YouTube, but you're going to spend countless hours just digging. When you go to something like this, you're just getting straight to the point. I think that's what I paid for, and that's exactly the value where I got. Like, even more, I didn't expect you to be more engaging. I didn't expect you to hold live calls on Facebook or anything like that, or to say, hey, if you want a brand audit, email me your links, and I'll just tell you, hey, this is what I see. This is what you can adjust on. Like, I think that all that stuff you can't really get on YouTube. But if you do, most people are not going to really want to do it just because, they're busy too. Like, if somebody asks you this who just came from YouTube, I'm sure you're getting, if one person's asking you, hey, can you check out my music or check out anything? I'm sure tons of other people are asking you the same thing, and you just don't have the time to reply and do all that. So with him, the Sell Music Masterclass is a lot hands-on. And I think that, like, even for the price, you just pay it. In my opinion, I would just pay just because you're learning information that you didn't know before, or if you did know, you're really brushing up and you're really getting a lot cleaner and more polished on how you attack your content strategies and everything like that. So
at no point, and this is just for my own clarification, at no point did you have any buyer's remorse? Did you regret buying into the program? Did you regret starting? Did you feel like things were missing? Did you feel like it wasn't thorough enough, or it was too generic?
No, not at all. I mean, like, I think that for me, the thing that helped with this situation, you have it's kind of like a subscription based where I can pay monthly. I'm going to be straight up. I didn't have the money to pay, the money up front, but I still did the, subscription based and made that sacrifice. And I feel like that, it's definitely worth it. I still use the Masterclass. So,
man, I want to just thank you before we get off this call. I want you to shout out to my entire audience, anybody who ever comes across this video. Tell the people where to find you. Tell the people who you want to connect or how you want to connect.
Well, if you really want to speak with me, like, not speak with me, but if you really want to get, my attention, most of my attention is focused on Instagram.
Okay.
So Instagram handle is I am XCaliberZero. And then my website is...
too. I'll put that up on the screen.
I appreciate it. And then my website is www.XCaliberZero.com. And then I also post all that music that you hear on my website through YouTube as well. But my focus is Instagram.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you again for being an action taker in the program. It's been a pleasure. Not only, as you mentioned it earlier, we're cool now. At first we were a little bit of a stranger with one another, but that's the greatest thing about the students that invest in themselves. I invest my time into them, and we become cool. We become a family. So it's like Channel Family 2.0 over there. Right. So I appreciate you being open and honest with everyone, taking the time to talk to me, investing in yourself, investing and trusting in me. And I can't be any happier for the momentum and for the progress that you've had. And we're just getting started. I say that a lot, but you're just getting started, man. So anyway, all of XCaliberZero's information in the description box below. You can check out all of his links. Definitely check out his music. Show some love. If you have any questions that you want to ask him, if you want to say, hey, did Adam Ivy pay you to say all those nice things? Didn't. But if you want to message him, get the real, shoot him a DM over on Instagram. I'm sure he'd love to connect with you. So thank you again for getting on the call, my friend. And until next time, we'll see you. We'll see you later.
All right, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Welcome to the Sell Music Masterclass, where we give you, the creator, proven advanced strategies with actionable tactics and techniques to help you monetize your music and develop a powerful online brand. With your instructor, Adam Ivy.